right here. What I did just now was take off the head. Hello, Mr. Tuna. And took out his guts. So we got a clean fish to start off with. There's still a little bit of blood and stuff in there, but that'll be cleaned out later. So I have a selection of some decent knives here. Dalkane is my sidekick. We're going to get through this together. So let's see. Start off with my classic chef knife, just because. One of the first steps that I've been told to do is to start by taking off the scales next to these fins. Just cut a sheer line through, get into there. And at this point, I'm going to try to start taking off the collar. So I'm going to find the collar where it comes up here, coming really steep. You got some really white tuna here, bud. It just means it's not of the utmost quality. I'm going to save some of these scraps, and I think we're going to roast it and put it into like a fish stock, tuna stock. Alright, and I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. The scales next to those fins are really firm and hard, and that's why I'm just kind of shaving them off right there.
What? Oh, mirror.
Alright. That wasn't pretty, but it's there. Okay, so next off, I'm going to go down the spine. And the skin and the scales on tuna are really thick. So it's best when you cut yourself a line through the skin first. Love this band.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it until you told me.
Listening to Lettuce in the background. Two little funk bands. We do not own the rights to any of the music. Okay, with my line cut right there, right along the spine, I'm going to go back in with my big chef knife and start carving away at that meat. And ideally, I'm gliding my knife along the back of the spine there and getting as close to it as possible without any of that meat coming off. Okay, cool.
And that's cutting along the bottom? Or is that the top?
That's the top of the fish.
Okay.
That's the back spine. And then the particular to tuna, and I guess there's a couple other fish, they have a row of bones that go laterally along this way. So the method for filleting a tuna is a little different than, say, like a salmon. So I'm going to do the same thing, cut a line in the skin, and that line of bones is really obvious. I can see it right here. There's a blood line from where I carved off that back scale. So then I'm going to go back in with the knife, get all the way back down to the bottom spine. Feels a little frozen still, yep, a little icy. Now if I've done this right, should chunk quarter of tuna. And so you can see that darker spot right there. That's the bloodline. There's a handful of bones sticking out right there, and we're going to trim those off later. But for right now, that's one solid loin, 1/4 of tuna. So we're going to keep going. That was the top, the dorsal area. And it looks like I took off most of the bones with that side. So this one, I should just be able to cut straight through on the bottom and get most of it off. Hell, I could probably even come at it from the other side if I wanted. But that's not what they tell you to do. So I'm in the belly now, and I'm just kind of drawing a straight line across the belly. And I got to remember to cut my line through the skin. I'm going to switch knives again. And I'm going to go back to front. And there's a few bones on that side. Should just be able to glide through. There's another quarter. And the other side of that bloodline that's right there. A bit of thin. There's a nice big fatty part that I'm going to take off of that a little bit later. And the chunk of that loin is the prime meat.
My other buddy's wife is Japanese, and she wanted fatty tuna. Is that like just that part?
Yeah, fatty is usually towards the belly. Tuna can be, from one tuna to the other. One might be fattier than the other. Typically, in a lot of like Japanese sushi restaurants, they go for the leaner meat. But we as Americans, we always go for the fattier stuff. Go figure, right? It's not very common that you see them sell the fatty things in like Japan in sushi restaurants. So I got like visible line on that spine on both sides right there. And supposedly it's easiest to do the same thing again on the other side. I'm going to cut through the skin, cut my line, just right on the other side of that spine there. No, that's not good. There we go.
So it's just wanting you to cut on either side of the bones?
Yeah, and so I should be able to slide my knife right in there and actually kind of see it as it glides through the underside of the spine there. It's alright. Let's try to do the same thing to the other side. These doors are pretty good to cut through. Shit. Okay, at this point, I should pretty much be able to pull the spine off. Start from the head. Boom. That's for pin. There's that for stock. Alright, and You should pretty much just be able to go right down the middle right there. Just go at it from the inside, just cause. And since I don't want to cut through the table, okay, cool.
Nice.
So I got my 4 quarters. It's a Japanese name for what I just did. Can't remember what it was. Basically means cutting it into 5 pieces. I'm going to cut out my bloodline now. Pretty much trace that dark spot on the fish. Oh, I don't like this knife for this. Switch.
Half time, switch sides. You want some tweezers?
No.
Be like that guy on that movie.
What, the Japanese one?
Yeah.
God, it was so awesome.
Actually, that's a Chinese movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave a little bit of that bloodline for now. This fucker. I think everything I'm doing from now on is just pretty much trimming. Should probably use that cutting board now. You can drag that under me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, not the prettiest cuts. But we're getting there. This is done. Just need to pull out the skin off of that one, and that one's good to go. Oh yeah, let's do this one. I'm going to shave a little bit of that bloodline off. Alright, now we also have these fatty parts of the belly on the underside of the tuna, and this is right on the inside where I gutted it. So I'm going to take off this lining and try to carve on the inside of that there. There's a row of bones in there, and if I could hook my knife under it, then it should come off pretty cleanly. Oh. Lost it. Alright, this is getting ugly. That's a fatty belly. Honestly, I would consider that waste. I don't know if you think you want to keep it. I kind of want to try some of this. There's another bone there. Oh! Trimmed. I like to keep a little bit of that bloodline in there. This is pretty white tuna. I learned an interesting fact about tuna. When they're caught at sea, it's really important that they're killed immediately. If they don't get killed right away and get put on ice, they'll continue to thrash around so much that they'll generate enough heat and actually cook themselves. So there's a lot of times we actually get whole raw tuna that is basically white on the inside, just like a canned tuna. Kind of wild.
I just told him, I was like, oh, I got my friend Joey filleting the tuna. I'll have a video for you guys later. He's like, that's sick. You'll be the first. I'm still waiting on my fillet knife.
Oh, really? I don't actually have a good fillet knife. And with tuna, because there's such big, hardy fish, you don't really need a fillet knife. Might be good to have one that's sort of flexible. This one's got a little bit of flex into it. But if this was a much bigger fish, then I might, consider needing a different knife. I don't have any of the technical knives that you really need for this kind of fishmongery. There's a bone. Alright, and I just have, this was the first piece that I cut. It has a bit of that side spine on it. So I'll show you right here. I should just be able to slip in under the first couple of bones. And follow with the rest of them.
Donut?
Butchering fish, eating donuts. Ain't nothing better. Some kind of weird combination. Alright, well, that's a bulk of the work done. Next I'm just going to chop it onto smaller pieces and try to find a way to package it up. But for right now, I'm curious. Let's do a little screen test with some raw tuna. Take a piece from right inside. Okay. Tastes like tuna. Pretty alright. I think in terms of quality, this is probably like C quality. But hey, big cheap fish. Why the heck not? Anyway, never butchered tuna before. Really happy to have done it. Thank you all for coming up. Follow me for more recipes.
There's your rice.
Sweet. Doing something cool.
What?
Putting something to cool. Needs to chill. Oh yeah. I just touched my knife and sliced through my glove, so it's sharp. Bow!
I heard you scream. Would you cut yourself? I thought I heard something like.
Oh, I was singing along to the music.
Oh.
This saxophone was going da 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 da. Da 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 da.
I was just like, oh great, I'm gonna come down to a pool of blood. What, should we just throw this in the oven? Whatever.
I get rid of the head. I don't want the head. The head's trash.
Fish head.
So. You have like another little bowl.
chilling on her little perch.
She hasn't really gone to the bathroom, so we can get her to go.
You going somewhere?
I've seen her go to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
I would say
sorry.
she hasn't really gone to the bathroom much.
Well, not eating very much right now, I'd imagine.
Oh no, she's eating totally fine actually. that has not affected anything for her. I put food right next to her and she just.
Where you headed?
I'm going over to my friend Corey's. We're all doing a social distance drinking beer and
Cool.
smoothie.
Have fun.
The other chef.
Can I have another little bit? See, I did all right. You're supposed to like be able to pretty much see through it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's okay. And then the rest, you see, they really just.
Oh, jeez. Wow. And what do you do with that stuff?
They mix it with like spices and soy sauce to make like a spicy tuna.
Oh,
It's like a spicy tuna mix.
Oh. Huh.
Kind of like a spread. But they put it, with like in a piping bag.